Well, two separate incidents caused lockdowns at schools in Bishop and Mammoth Lakes on Wednesday. Getting word today from Mammoth Unified School District Superintendent Lois Klein. She sent out a message saying that the student from Wednesday's incident was seen on campus during lunch on Thursday, and it was reported he was apprehended and taken into custody. Now, from Mammoth Lakes Police Chief Al Davis, he reports that Wednesday at approximately 11:43 a.m., the anonymous tip system, Tip Now, received information regarding a potentially armed student on the Mammoth Unified School District campus. It was unclear to officers which campus this was directed toward. Now, shortly after, two additional tips were received regarding potential violence, and due to the severity of the tips, it was decided to put all three campuses in Mammoth, elementary, middle, and high school, on lockdown. Now, school resource officer from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, Daniel Hansen, began working closely with school administrators and staff to investigate the incident. Now, Chief Davis reports that during the initial stages of the investigation, it was determined that the threat was specific to Mammoth High School's campus. The lockdown was subsequently lifted for the elementary school. However, due to the close proximity of the middle school to the high school, the middle school lockdown was left in place. Now, the investigation continued as new information was received by the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, with mutual aid resources arriving at the school to provide assistance, including the California Highway Patrol, Mammoth Fire Protection District, Mono County District Attorney investigators, Mono County Sheriff, and Mono County probation staff. Now, information gathered by the department led to the identification of a student. Officers were able to safely take the student into custody during the lockdown with no incident, and subsequently lifted the lockdown of the middle school. Now, for safety precautions, responding officers conducted a thorough search of the entire Mammoth High School campus. Now, while the extensive search took place, students were escorted to the multi-purpose room. Prior to entering the multi-purpose room, each student was given a brief cursory pat-down, searching for weapons only. The students were respectful, the press release notes, of the officers and took the incident seriously. Chief Davis said this makes the efforts easier. Again, Mammoth Unified School District Superintendent Lois Klein sent out that message today, saying that the student from Wednesday's incident was seen on campus during lunch on Thursday, apprehended and taken into custody. Now, the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, the news release notes, said that it believes that the incident was not related to the Bishop High School lockdown that started about 10 minutes prior to the Mammoth incident. Now, from the Bishop Police Department, reports that approximately 11:06 a.m. Wednesday, BPD was notified by Bishop Union High School administration that someone on staff may have heard a student in a crowded hallway say that he had a gun. Staff could not determine who had uttered the words. Bishop police officers were on scene quickly. A detached building housing a number of classrooms and roughly 150 students situated near the main building was contained. A student lockdown for safety was done. Bishop Police spoke with staff and confirmed the call type. The BPD Public Information Officer sent a push message via the phone app and to Facebook to not only notify concerned parents and citizens, but also to refute any false posts. Now, law enforcement officers from Inyo and Mono counties and California Highway Patrol responded to assist, many of whom were already geared up in Bishop as they were on a training detail. Many law enforcement officers on the scene had completed the certified active shooter course, as well as ongoing related tactical training for such an event. The Bishop Police Department reported responders conducted a systematic search and a number of interviews. No firearm was found. We'd like to note that those full press releases are posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, Deb Murphy filed this story, noting that with 24 licenses approved by the Inyo County Board of Supervisors, the cannabis landscape is taking shape. 18 applications were approved at Tuesday's Inyo Supervisors meeting, primarily grow operations in the southeast portion of Inyo County. 2 applicants not reaching an 80% score were denied. Now, when the question was posed as to the number of applicants in Supervisor Matt Kingsley's district, his typically Matt Kingsley answer was, there's more privately owned land in my district and the residents are more progressive. Now, the Inyo supervisors took a progressive approach to allocating limits to cannabis licenses more than a year ago, and during that process, those communities with strong anti-cannabis leanings got their wish: no pot operations. Areas like Kingsley's southeast corner of the county, eager to take advantage of legalization, also got their wish with a liberal number of licenses available. Deb Murphy writes, so here's what the landscape looks like now. 2 retail operations north of the city of Bishop. No applicants went for licenses in supervisory districts 2 and 4, Laws and Wilkerson, to Independence respectively. 8 cultivation operations on 5 parcels, 1 retail and 1 micro business in the West Sage, Flat Road, Coso Junction, Pearsonville areas. Licenses are identified per parcel, so those 8 cultivation licenses represent only 5 since there were 3 on 1 parcel. No licenses were authorized in the Olancha, Cartago, or West Bishop areas. Deb Murphy also reported Wednesday marked the 19th day of the federal government shutdown. Bishop's office building housing the Inyo National Forest and Bureau of Land Management staffs has a note on its locked door while idle vehicles sit in the parking lot. Visitors can tool around Manzanar National Historic Site but can't get in the building to view the exhibits. Death Valley campsites closed, but the resorts, not federal facilities, are open and doing well. This according to a report by Death Valley Park head Mike Reynolds via Supervisor Matt Kingsley at Tuesday's board meetings. 4 restrooms are functioning and the visitor center is open and staffed by the Death Valley Historical Society. Also, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or food stamps, food distribution programs on Native American reservations, and special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children, WIC, could be impacted if the shutdown drags on. Deb's full reports posted on SierraWave.net. Well, last Thursday, the California Department of Water Resources conducted the first Phillips Station snow survey of 2019. Manual survey recorded 25.5 inches of snow depth and a snow water equivalent of 9 inches, which is 80% of average for this location. Statewide, the Sierra Snowpack, 67% of average. The results confirm that despite early winter storms, snow water content is below average for this time of year. On average, the snowpack supplies about 30% of California's water needs as it melts in the spring and early summer. The greater the snowpack water content, the greater the likelihood California's reservoirs will receive ample runoff as the snowpack melts to meet the state's water demand in the summer and fall. That full press release also on SierraWave.net. And from the Mammoth Lakes Trail System, thanks to the recent storms, most of the Mammoth Lakes Trail System, winter trail system at Shady Rest Park is groomed and open to Nordic skiers, winter walkers, and fat bikers. Now, the news release notes it is important to emphasize that during the federal government shutdown, the United States Forest Service partners not grooming winter trails with a snowcat. This means Mammoth Lakes Trail System doing the best with the equipment they have to provide a quality trail facility. The snowcat typically does the first pass on the trails. Inyo National Forest motorized OSV winter trails will not be groomed until the shutdown ends. Mammoth Lakes Trail System is able to provide this service thanks to a partnership between the town of Mammoth Lakes and Inyo National Forest with funding from Measure R. Again, see SierraWave.net for links to all of the grooming information at Shady Rest. We'll be back with more news.